because if he had done that, I would have lost the game just there and then. And what he's done is he's flown the Exalted Champion over to the hill, ready to charge me or move somewhere else, and that gives me a turn to try and get the Hierophant out of the way. But man, I'm glad neither of us thought of that at the time, because that was that could have been dangerous for me. And in the meantime, he's turned his Chaos Warriors around to face the threat of the Scorpion and the Carrion in the background. So that unit of Chaos Warriors isn't doing too much, but at least he's sort of trying to face any threats that he can. So, next photo gives you a bit of a better view of what's going on here. What's actually happened is the King's unit of skeletons has charged through the middle and totally beaten that group of Marauders in combat. I took out the enemy champion in combat with the King and just beat them in combat. They fled, and of course that unit of Chaos Warriors next to them has just turned around anyway. So King's in a dominant position right in the center of the battlefield, and I've got my Scorpion moving in to try and deal with this Exalted Champion on the disc, and I've flown my Hierophant away so that he can't destroy it, and the other Scorpions are moving through the forest. So as to what he does with that disc dude next turn, we'll find out shortly. All right, next photo, a bit of a better picture of what's going on here. I've got you've got the Horsemen moving in to back up the King's unit, and of course this is just the same sort of position that I took the photo of previously, but you can see a bit better the position of the Horsemen here, and the fact that my Skeleton Archers are about to take the charge from the group of Chaos Warriors at the left. So next photo, oh man, this was disastrous. I charged his Chaos Knights with the Prince and the Chariot unit with the Standard of the Cursing Wound. Now, the problem is that, and I always forget about this, I got like 10 impact hits all up, but he still like needs 2 pluses to save, because he's got 1+ saves and Strength 4 will reduce it to 2+. And I killed, like, very luckily, I killed 2 Chaos Knights in that turn, but he just attacked back and killed, like, he got like 4 or 5 wounds, and I lost the combat. And because the Prince charged separately to the Chariots, I had to take combat resolution separately on each unit. So I lost a couple of extra Chariots. The Tomb Prince is down to 1 wound, the Chariot's down to 1 wound, and I'm about to lose the combat next turn, and I've already killed 2 Knights. And in the meantime, the other group of Tomb King Chariots back in the background failed their charge. They weren't in range. So yeah, the moral of the story: Chariots don't really counter Chaos Knights, even when you're charging. Next time I play against Chaos Warriors, at least if I know that I've got a match coming up, I'm going to take the Blade of Setep. That is a 50-point magic item which ignores armor saves, and I'm going to put it on the Prince. So watch out for that one. That's what I'm going to be trying next time. There you go. So next photo. Now this is dangerous. What's happened here is the Chaos Warriors with the Battle Standard Bearer in the unit have charged the archers to the left. Now he's flown his Exalted Champion on the disc over behind the casket, getting a position facing the casket and the Horsemen, ready to charge the Casket of Souls guy next turn. Which is going to be bad for me, because the Casket of Souls guy is probably going to die. I've got 2 Casket Guards with 2 attacks each with Killing Blow, which could potentially take the Exalted Champion out. But it's going to be a big wad of points for me being lost there, unfortunately. So let's see whether I can come up with a plan to stop that. Next photo, I'm just going to zoom out a bit and see what's going on. I've got the Scorpion and the Carrion would have sort of moved out of the woods at the far background. What happened here is that I charged the Marauders with... no, I think the Marauders are standing there, and nobody else has charged them yet, but the King has charged the Chaos Warriors unit with his regiment of skeletons, and you can see one single Chaos model at the back of the skeleton unit. That's to represent the fact that he's captured a standard from the Marauders after beating them in combat, and I've got a whole bunch of undead units in the background ready to charge the Chaos Warriors in the back. I've also got some skeleton archers and a Scorpion in the foreground, sort of, as well. And as you can see here, the Chaos Warriors to the bottom left have actually destroyed my group of skeletons with bows. And in the far background to the left, the Chaos Knights have actually destroyed the Tomb Prince and his retinue of chariots in combat. They passed the leadership for the curse, so unfortunately the Tomb Prince curse didn't go off. And things shaping up very well. This could be anybody's game at this stage. I'm sort of prepped to lose the casket at this stage, but I've got things going on very well in the center of the battlefield, so still confident I might be able to scrape a win. And he's actually moved his his Hell Cannon rather behind the Marauders. I think he failed the leadership test and had to move forward, so that was very, very interesting there. Next photo. What's happened is that the Destroyer of Eternity's armed king has crunched the Chaos Warriors unit. That's another one. So you can see another Chaos Warrior model behind his unit, representing the fact that the king's unit has captured 2 standards so far, so doing very well, and they've overrun through to the carrion there. So great combat. Now, next photo, just showing you in a bit more detail what's going on here. I've got a Scorpion in the far background. Unfortunately, it's not close enough to take up the Exalted Champion, and it's going to be my turn here to try and get something going on to try and charge this guy. So we'll see how that works out. Let's go to the next photo. Now, the Chaos Knights have not charged the chariots because they weren't within their sort of 90-degree charge sight range arc. So what he's done instead is he's marched them behind the chariots, ready to charge them in the back next turn. Even if they get the charge off against something else which is in front of them, they should be charged in the back by the Chaos Knights and taken out. Next photo, what he's done here is he's turned around his group of Chaos Knights, Chaos Warriors on foot, and he's planning on charging the cavalry unit in the back next turn, but I've got a turn to try and get them out of range, so they're going to try and charge the Marauders in the background in order to do that. Alright, so very crucial situation here, and I've got a photo of it. So I'll just explain everything. The archers in the foreground, closest to the bottom of the photo, have moved backwards. The Scorpion in front of them moved 7 inches towards the casket, and he's moved so the sight range can actually see the Exalted Champion on foot. Of course, I've used up my movement phase, and it's only going to come down to the magic phase to see whether I can actually charge him, assuming he's in range, with the Scorpion. I've moved my cavalry 8 inches forward, but they're still going to be within 8-inch charge range of the unit of Chaos Warriors on foot, and unfortunately I'm going to get a charge in the rear if I don't do something about them in the magic phase. Now, in order to clear this up, I've brought in a Scorpion and the Hierophant next to the swamp there. So the Hierophant's within 12 inches of the Scorpion, both Scorpions rather, and the cavalry. Now that's really important because the king's moved around as well. The king has turned, so he's not the unit of skeletons not getting the ranks because they turned 45 degrees. They turned on one angle. So the skeleton warriors are facing left towards the position where the Hell Cannon is in combat with the chariots. The carrion have charged the Chaos Sorcerer on foot, who's just left the unit. So you can see that in the background of the unit. But crucially, I have a magic phase now. So the magic phase goes off. The king uses his magic phase, two incantations, to actually charge the back of the Hell Cannon. The Casket of Souls Lich uses his incantation to cast Urgency of the Scorpion. He manages to get it off, charges the Exalted Champion. Fantastic, prevents me from getting charged next turn, assuming I win the combat. And finally, the Hierophant manages to get his spell off in the heavy cavalry, getting them out of range of charge from the Chaos Warriors. So everything went perfectly in that magic phase, and nothing went wrong there. I was just really, really happy with my luck there because I managed to get everything done that I needed to, and I pretty much thwarted all of his plans there, and I prevented myself from losing like two or three big units, which cost a lot of points. So really happy with the way that turned out. Next photo, you can see in a bit more detail how that actually worked. You can see the Tomb King in the background charging the Hell Cannon. You can see in the foreground the Scorpions charge the Exalted Champion at the bottom of the picture, and the cavalry have turned around to face their opponents, and they won't be charged by the Chaos Warriors on foot. And there's only going to be one Chaos turn left. We're up to turn 5. This is Tomb King's. So this is actually Tomb King's turn 6. I got the first turn, so the Chaos Warriors will have one turn. That'll be the end of the game. Next picture. Oh, this is really cool what happens here. The king destroys the Hell Cannon. The carrion beat the sorcerer in combat. The sorcerer flees. The carrion roll a 13 for their charge range. They're allowed to use their flight move for their charge, for their overrun, and they go 13. They fly over the chariots, getting in the way of the Chaos Knights, so the Chaos Knights can't charge the chariots. Man, that is just rubbing salt in the wound, and really sucks to be the Chaos Knights right now. And that's me cleaning up all the rest of the combat in the middle of the field. What happens here is that the Exalted Champion with a Battle Standard Bearer has Frenzy because he's in a unit with a banner of range. So the foot-mounted Chaos Warriors can't charge, but the Frenzy guy can. But as he leaves the unit, he's not affected by the unit's banner anymore, so he's not frenzied. He charges the Horsemen. The Horsemen have a war banner. They beat him in combat. He runs. They pursue him. They beat him. They get the points of the war banner. Absolutely terrible result. the Chaos Knights kill the Carrion and charge back and overrun into the chariots, but there's no turn left to resolve the combat, so I don't lose the chariot unit. And wow, that is the end of the game. And bear in mind, Scorpion charges the Exalted Champion on the disc, rolls 3 misses and 1 hit. The hit rolls a 6 for killing blow. He fails his ward save, and I kill his general in close combat with the Scorpion for a final victory, and it ended up being a crushing victory for the Undead, despite the game looking very close. And really enjoyable game, very, very interesting game, but this has been my first win against Chaos Warriors, and it was a very decisive one thanks to so much luck in that last turn or two. The only real bad luck I had this game was losing the Scullipult in the first turn, but after that, man, everything went right, so really, really happy with how that turned out. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed.